Thank you, Mr. Chairman Manchin, Ranking Member Barrasso, and members of the committee. Good morning, and thanks for the opportunity to meet with you today. Greetings from the people of Wyoming. We can probably agree that last year sucked economically, socially, and emotionally. Wyoming never had to completely shut down, so our schools and businesses remained open, but our overall economy took a hard hit, particularly in the oil and gas industry. I cannot talk about my state without mentioning coal, Mr. Chairman. You and Ranking Member Barrasso know coal well and how important it is to our state's economies. Thank you for remembering that burning fossil fuels is not the problem. It is concentration of CO2 in the atmosphere that is the most urgent and critical task of this generation. Thank you for last week's hearing on carbon capture to promote federal support for commercial deployment of CCUS. This technology is essential. I recently announced that Wyoming will work day and night to achieve negative net zero carbon emissions across the whole spectrum of energy using wind, solar, nuclear, hydrogen, and fossil fuels. We are working hard to be home to the next commercial CCUS facility. Today, I speak about Wyoming's oil and gas industry and how it has been challenged by this administration's misguided policies. Last August, for what I understand to be the first time in our state's history, no rigs were operating in Wyoming. Today, there are 7, down from 34 in February of 2019. In October of that year, our Department of Workforce Services reported 13,100 oil and gas-related jobs. By October of 2020, that number had dropped to 7,200. This leasing review is a crafty way of establishing a moratorium on federal lease sales, making continued progress ever more tenuous, more difficult, and more likely that good-paying, family-supporting jobs will migrate somewhere else. That is bad for this country, for the climate, and especially for Wyoming. Wyoming ranks first in natural gas production on public lands and second in oil. That production from federal acreage is vital to our economy, generating $457 million last fiscal year. Approximately $5.7 million of that is from lease sales. How much has Wyoming received from lease revenues this year? None. The climate goals of the Biden administration can best be achieved through more consultation with governors, and that can be done without decimating our economies. The heart of enlightened, responsible policy lies in fully understanding all of its consequences. This moratorium discriminates against the people of Wyoming, against all Western states with federal leases within our borders. 8 Western states will stand to lose $2.3 billion in investment, $872 million in production value, and $345 million in tax revenue in this first year of the moratorium. In people terms, that is less funding for schools, health care, public safety, and other essential services. This moratorium is absolutely unnecessary. A comprehensive, thoughtful, and meaningful review can certainly be done without halting an entire leasing program. Federal lands are not overleased. Moreover, leases are not stockpiled in Wyoming. Developing a resource responsibly means leasing must be thoughtful, strategic, and forward-thinking. It may take a company several years and multiple sales to gather enough leases to allow the organized development of an entire field. That minimizes surface disturbance, avoids waste, and stranding assets. Conversely, a pause on leasing can set back and disrupt orderly development for years to no one's benefit. Wyoming is known for its energy production and magnificent environment. We have the largest stable population of sage grouse, and that has not been without effort. We have implemented effective mechanisms to offset development of wind, solar, coal, oil, and gas resources, not without effort or expense. And my state boasts the longest mule deer and pronghorn migrations on the planet. We have implemented a policy that focuses on siting surface disturbances outside valuable migration corridors. This moratorium does nothing to advance these multi-use policies or the valuable wildlife protections that we all, NGOs, communities, landowners, and the state have worked so hard to implement in partnership with industry. I close in citing Wyoming's stellar record regarding flaring methane emissions and plugging wells. Thank you